Hello VC, this is my second part of my 80s collection. It's quite a large collection of 80s, so bear with me. Start off with then Whitney Houston. This is her second album, Whitney, which is like excellent condition. And her first one, Whitney Houston, all her 80s hits are on both of those. Tina Turner, Foreign Affair. Tina Turner. Classic Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. His first debut album, this one. Probably one of the best. It's got Breakdown, which is a great tune. Anything That's Rock and Roll was the first hit I think he had in the UK in the 77, I think. Fooled Again is another excellent tune. And American Girl, which I believe was a #1 in the US. Not sure where it got in the UK, but I've also got his Long After Dark. Not quite such a good album, this one. I mean, it's okay. You Got Lucky is a good tune. He's had better other albums. I have his live one. This came out in '85. Lots of good tunes on here. 2 LPs, I think, that one. I have Simon and Garfunkel Collection. Greatest hits album, basically. I got Sting and Nothing Like the Sun. This is an excellent sounding record. The engineering and the mixing I've done on this was really, really good. If you can pick it up cheap, it's worth picking up. Another good sounding one of his, The Dream of the Blue Turtles. It's also a very good one of Sting's. I have Simply Red, Picture Book. This also is a very good sounding record. Got Holding Back the Years, Money's Too Tight. Men and Women. Yet again, Simply Red. Not sure. Every Time We Say Goodbye is on here, which is pretty good. I came into a few Status Quo records, quite a bit large lot in a charity shop last year, I think, and I brought them for like 50p each. I showed like my 70s lot off in my last video. This is my 80s lot. I have this one, Just Stopping. Sorry, Just Supposing. Beg your pardon. In the Army Now. And this one, which is virtually a greatest hits, 12 gold bars. So I was pleased to pick those up. Got a bit of Randy Crawford, Love Songs. And Secret Combination. It's got the hit You Might Need Somebody, Rainy Night in Georgia. Two nice 80s songs. Robert Palmer, Addictions Volume 1. This has got Simply Irresistible on there, which is a really good 80s tune. Got this one, Double Fun. This one is also a very good sounding record, Roxy Music, Avalon. I've also got this one, For Your Pleasure, I think it's called. I have Rolling Stones, Undercover. Love the Rolling Stones, one of my favourite rock bands. I have Tattoo You. It's got Start Me Up, which is just a phenomenal tune of theirs. Waiting for a Friend was also a very good tune. One of my favourites, if not my favourite of theirs, Emotional Rescue. Emotional Rescue are just just love that song. She's So Cold is on there, which is just another great tune of theirs. They kind of went through an experimental phase, I think, in the 80s, trying different things. Some of the albums are good, some of them not so good. Luckily, that was one of them. Rolling Stones, Still Life. This is a live album of theirs. They released the song Going to a Go-Go. They released as a single, and it's got others of theirs, Under My Thumb, Shattered, another song, Start Me Up, Satisfaction, and yeah, that's quite cool to have. Rolling Stones, Steel Wheels. Something quite different to rock, very different to rock. Pat Boone. These are 80s pressings of Pat Boone. And another one, 16 classic tracks, Pat Boone. Really like Pat Boone music. I have Peter Gabriel. He's got that classic song on here, Games Without Frontiers. The album's called Charisma. Peter Gabriel, So. Got the song Sledgehammer on here. Excuse me as I drink my coffee. I have No Jacket Required by Phil Collins. Also this one. Phil Collins, But Seriously. Yeah. Another Day in Paradise is a very good tune of his. Hello, I Must Be Going. Face Value. I've got quite a few of the Police. This one. And this one. Ghost in the Machine. The Singles. It's got virtually all the hits on here. Roxanne, Can't Stand Losing You, Message in a Bottle, Walker on the Moon, Don't Stand So Close to Me, Do Do Do, Dee Da Da, Every Little Thing She Says Is Magic, which I think was a #1 in the UK. Great #1, that one. Really, really fantastic, that one. I think he dedicated that over his relationship. He broke up. Visible Sun's on here. Spirits in the Material World. Sorry, Every Breath You Take is dedicated to his breakup. King on Pain and Wrapped Around Your Finger. All on there. Paul McCartney, Broad Street. Bit of a flop, I think, the film. But there's a few good hits on here. No More Lonely Nights is a good tune. Yesterday, Here, There, Everywhere. Silly Love Songs. Yeah, not a bad album at all. Anything of Paul McCartney's I pick up because I love Paul McCartney. I love this. All the Best, Paul McCartney. It's a double LP, this one. I love these double LPs. These greatest hits ones. I'll pick them up as soon as I find them. So yeah, virtually all his ones on there. Plus an exclusive one, which was Once Upon a Long Ago. I think was dedicated to this album. I have a German copy of Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney Und Wings, as it says Und. And this is called Amiga. I don't think this was released in the UK. It's got like the Moloch-Tyre picture. So I jumped on it as soon as I saw this. I really like that. It's got Moloch-Tyre, of course. Another Day, My Love, Uncle Albert, Listen to What the Man Says, Baby, Maybe I'm Amazed, Coming Up, Getting Closer, With a Little Luck, Band on the Run, Spin It On, and London Town. It's virtually their Wings greatest hits we had over here in the UK a little bit earlier. We have Tug of War, Pipes of Peace, this one, Press to Play. Thirsty work this is. I have classic Muddy Waters of Blues and Hoochie Coochie Man. It's got Manish Boy on there. I have Michael Jackson Bad. These were insanely popular when these came out. Michael Jackson was at its peak. This is no doubt his highest selling album, if not of all time, and I shouldn't think it'll ever be matched ever, and that's Thriller. Yeah, it's a good album, there's no doubt about it. Want to Be Starting Some Things on here. Girl Is Mine, he done with Paul McCartney. Thriller, Beat It, Billie Jean. Yeah, it's no wonder it was so popular. I have this one as well, Michael Jackson plus the Jackson 5. This is a cheap charity shop find, so I thought, you know, why not? Well, why not? And yeah, this is perhaps my first record I brought, Lionel Richie. I think I got that and Madness. It was given to me. I acquired them. We were emptying out this big building, and it had all this stuff in there, and me and a friend cleared it all out for this company, and they had all these records and things I had in there. That was one of them, and a Madness one. They had lots of other odds and ends as well, which I can't really remember now. Yeah, Dancing on the Ceiling, I got his. Ballerina Girl, Say You Love Me. Sorry, Say You, Say Me. Dancing on the Ceiling. So yeah, a lot of hits on here. Can't Slow Down. No, I can't. There's a lot here. Enjoy Yourself, Kylie Minogue. Yeah, I've got two of the early records of Kylie Minogue. So I've got this one as well, Kylie. Assuming this was the first one. I Should Be So Lucky. 88. And I'm not so familiar with this one. This actually might be her debut. 89. No, that's her debut then. That's the first, and I assume that's the second. I have the great George Harrison, Cloud 9. Yeah, it's got lots of good tunes on this one. I got my mind set on you and others. Brian Wilson sort of struggled to sort of hit the heights he did after during the Beach Boys, sort of after the 60s. He had all sorts of mental problems, and yeah, he sort of made a bit of a comeback with this one. I think he released the song on here, Love and Mercy. So yeah, I'm pleased he managed to get back on the scene. Roy Orbison. I think this is called Mystery Girl. Yeah, Mystery Girl. It's got that great tune on here, You Got It. There's big hit of his just before he died. I think he released that. Ballads as well, Roy Orbison. Virtually a greatest hits album. And this one, which is a greatest hits of his. So I've got those. I've got a greatest hits Human League, and I got the Dare album. I got a few of the Hollies. I got the Rarities album. This was a 60s record, but this is an 80s pressing, so it's in with the lot, with the collection. For certain, because this is a recent find. The Hollies, Buddy Holly. This is a surprisingly good album. I really like the song, the cover. Where is it on here? What to Do. That's a really nice song. A really good cover version of that. What to Do. This I was delighted to pick up. It's the Hollies, All the Hits and More, the definitive collection. I think I brought this for like, I don't know, £5 or something. It's a double. Yeah, I'm really pleased with this. Came out in '88. I have Genesis. It's got the song Mama on there. This one, it's ABA, CAB. I have Genesis Duke. When I see this album, it always reminds me of the film American Psycho, because I think it gets mentioned in that film, as well as a lot of other 80s albums. Genesis, Invisible Touch. It's got the classic track In Too Deep on here, which I love. Absolutely love that song. Elvis at his best, an 80s pressing of this. Reader's Digest label, Elvis Rocks, 14 golden hits. Cream of Eric Clapton. Yes. Yeah, all these hits on here. It's a really good album, this one. I have Behind the Sun as well of his. August, a lot of good tunes on this one. I have his debut, Eric Clapton, self-titled. Best of Eric Clapton. I have Chicago 16. Obviously it's by Chicago, the album's called 16. Hard to Say I'm Sorry and Love Me Tomorrow on here. Chicago Love Songs. It's got the classic If You Leave Me Now. It's just a lovely tune. I like playing Chicago like in the car. It's just a nice relaxing album to have on. Jazz and Dave, Don't Give a Monkeys. Yeah, he's got lots of good tunes on here. I know it's not perhaps to everyone's taste, Chaz and Dave. But yeah, I like them. Got My Beer in the sideboard here. Gertrude. I think my dad had that on a 45, Gertrude. Rabbit. Yeah. I've got a few of theirs actually. I have Job Lot as well. Margate's on here. London Girls. And I have a Greatest Hits as well. I have Cliff Richard, Private Collection, 1979 to 1988. Always Guaranteed. This is, I think this came out when he came back, made a bit of a comeback in the 80s. And he released the song Some People, which I think is a fantastic 80s tune. I think I've got Some People on a 12-inch somewhere. So yeah, I'm glad to pick that up for a couple of £2, I think that was. Also had a hit on this album, Stronger. Best of Me. That was a hit. Christopher, Missing You, nice tune. Into the Light. It's this one, Lady on Red's on here, which is just a classic. Oh, that shouldn't be there. That's got an album in the wrong place. I have Spark to the Flame. Spark to a Flame. Yeah. Yeah, this is Greatest Hits. Christopher. Missing You is on here. Spaceman Came Travelling. Lady in Red. Don't Pay the Ferryman. They're all on there. If you like Christopher. I got two of the Bangles. This one and this one. That's Everything. And that's Different Light. I've done the song Eternal Flame. I think it was their biggest hit. I think that's on there. Bobby V. I like Bobby V. These are 80s editions of Bobby V. Singles album, 20 golden tracks. And I also have the very best of Bobby V. Bit of rock here. Bon Jovi, Fahrenheit. I have this one as well, Bon Jovi. Classic, Slippery When Wet. So many good tunes on here. You Give Love a Bad Name. Living on a Prayer. Yeah, it's a good album, that one. I have the Beach Boys. They made a bit of a comeback in the 80s. This is a not so good one of theirs, Beach Boys. Summer Alive, I think it's called. The Greatest Hits, Best of Beach Boys Volume 1 and Volume 2. This was a good find. Billy Joel, Greatest Hits. Like I said before, I love these double albums, Greatest Hits ones. So I'm pleased to pick this one up. It's got Piano Man, New York State of Mind, The Stranger, Just the Way You Are is just a lovely love song. Yeah, so glad to have that. You know, when you're collecting vinyl, you can pick up so many albums, and if you sort of need to cull the collection back a bit, you can seek out some of those albums if you've got the greatest hits and just keep the greatest hits if you want to, you know. And so I always think they're worth having. This one as well, The Stranger. I have Innocent Man. I think this one's got the song Uptown Girl on there. It's #1 in '83. I've got the Beatles. Yes, the Beatles. 20 golden hits. Sorry, 20 greatest hits. Yeah, Love Me Do, Paperback Writer. Yeah, worth booking up this. Just, you know, I don't think there's many Beatles greatest hits out there. But this is one of them to pick up. That's quite a cheap find as well, that one. I have an 80s version of Beatles for Sale. 80s reissue, I should say. Not a lot of people sort of talk about this very much. It's not regarded one of their best albums. I mean, there's not a lot wrong with it. You know, it's still pretty good. Just not as popular as some of the others. With the Beatles, got this one. I have a Rubber Soul as well. This also is an 80s version, and that's a collection of Beatles oldies. Very odd to call that oldies. I mean, this came out in sort of '66. I mean, what are they suggesting here in this cover art? You know, it's very interesting. Magical Mystery Till. Yeah, I have this. Pleased to have that. One of my favourites, if not my favourite. Please Please Me. This is just great. Virtually every song on here I think is brilliant. I saw her standing there, Misery, and I Go to Him. I love that tune. Not so good, Chains and Boys aren't. Those two songs aren't quite so good. Ask Me Why is a nice song. Please Please Me, I think it was a hit. Love Me Do, I think it was their first hit. I think that it got to like number 17 in the charts. Love Me Do, it's quite surprising that. Obviously their next one, I think Hold My Hand, I think was their second one. I think that was number one. They got I think up to 9 number ones. I think. Baby It's You is a nice song. Do You Want to Know a Secret? I think Billy J. Kramer took that and made that one a hit. There's a Place, Twist and Shout. So yeah, great album, that one. Probably doesn't get enough love and attention it deserves. Overshadowed by their other ones. I have Buddy Holly, Greatest Hits. Love a bit of Buddy Holly. Rock On with Buddy Holly. I love this cover. And True Love Ways, this one. '25 all-time greatest hits. That's why you love songs, Buddy Holly. Rock and Roll Games. That's quite a few. Buddy Holly Lives. 20 Golden Greats. Yep, this is a good one. Virtually greatest hits. Worth picking up. And finally, Alison Moyet, Rain Dancing. And Alison Moyet, Elf. It's got that great 80s tune, Invisible, which I think is a fantastic 80s song. She really belts that one out. All Cried Out is on there. And yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that's not a bad album. Cheap charity shop find, Alison Moyet. And with that then, that'll be all till my next video, till the next time, which will be my 90s collection and my more modern day records, my 180 gram records. Until then, ladies and gents, like if you like the video, subscribe if you hadn't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.